technologies used in web application. In this video, we will introduce the technologies that we can use to create a web application in Java. Before introducing these technologies, we have to mention an important subject, which is web request handling. This diagram here explains how web request handling works. Since we are talking about web development here, most of us have either worked in Java SE desktop, or has worked in web development using another programming language. So, for those who have worked previously in web development, they will find that this diagram is easy to understand. As for the new ones in this field of web development and would like to understand how request handling works, they will have to know this diagram. This diagram is simply showing us how request handling happens in the server and how the response is generated. Most of us use the browser to surf websites, any website. So what happens is that we have here a web client, and what is meant by web client is the browser, the likes of Chrome and Firefox, and then we have here the web server. The web server in this case for us will be the Java web server, something like Tomcat or Glassfish. And as we mentioned and agreed in the previous video, that we create our own web application through web component. The web component will either be Servlet, JSP, or Java Beans, and this will be introduced in the coming classes. You should know that if you have a database for the application, and this is the case for most of the applications, then you will have to generate it using either JSPs or Java Beans. Then what happens here is that when the user opens the web browser and enters the URL, then sends an HTTP request, and then this is received by the servlet request, which we will explain later on. We will know how servlet receives the request and how it processes this request and then sends the response.